What's going on, members? Welcome back onto my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being a part of this session that we are going to be looking at now. It's actually the market overview, meaning that I'm going to be showing you guys what it is that I'm seeing on Nasdaq. I'm going to be showing you guys what it is that I'm also seeing on gold, which is actually going to be a beautiful week. And guys, I actually did get to send out, Nasdaq, because, I started trading Nasdaq, not so long ago, but, I've been very consistent trading Nasdaq. It has, made a lot of profits for us, which is a beautiful thing. And I want the same for you guys. So if you really do want to, just follow Nasdaq the way that I do get to follow it, just be a part of the Telegram group. Obviously, once you do get to be a part of it, you'll be able to see the trees that I get to send whenever I get to see a beautiful setup. I'll share with you guys just as I've seen one now, and I'm sharing with you guys now. Mean that if I don't get to upload it on YouTube, that means I'll be sending it into a PDF form or something like that. But make sure to also hit the like button and also the subscribe button, as this way you're going to be finding a lot of interesting, not only just interesting, but also informative and valuable forex videos. So let us now jump into it. We're going to be starting with Nasdaq. We made good profits for the week, made good profits for the month, but we are not done yet. We are still going in. It's a fresh month, so let us now go in with a fresh mindset and hope to make the best out of it. So let us now jump into the first one, which is Nasdaq.
Started with $1 and a dream. This one for all the people that said I couldn't do it.
NAS 100. Okay, NAS 100, beautiful week we had, and actually, looking at, let me just come here, looking at the structures, because remember, the previous times, when we're looking at NAS 100, we always anticipated NAS 100 coming here. So meaning that we've been looking at these higher highs, higher lows, we anticipated this higher high, meaning that we always wanted these higher highs to happen. So you can see it did shoot up. Beautiful impulsive move to the upside. We did manage to capitalize a lot on these on these buyers. We did get to buy a lot. So now I believe that we're actually at a point that we can be seeing a short-term move. It could either be a short-term move to the downside, or it could also be a long-term move. But I want us to actually start focusing a bit more on, just capitalizing to the downside. But I wouldn't want us to see, to look at some areas at the downside here being targets. I actually want us to focus only on, these areas, and then we can maybe after a third touch, because as you can see here, okay, like this, second touch, then possibly somewhere around these areas can be a third touch, then we can go back to the upside. So I want us to focus a bit more on what we can make with this information that we know. So let me just go on the 4-hour time frame, because remember, the momentum, the market is actually in a bullish market. The momentum is to the top side. It's confirming all the buys. It's whenever we are catching buys, it's giving us much more better entries, much more better risk to rewards. It's actually the ones that are going with us. So I don't want us to be focusing on a short-term picture and then we lose focus of the longer-term picture. So as you're able to see on the bigger time frame, we're actually in a buyer's market. So even here you can see this beautiful trend line that we have here. It's actually a very bullish one. So just by looking at this beautiful pattern here, there's actually a lot of indications of us just saying that we are going to be invested in a short-term trade, meaning that once we do get here, there's a high chance of us coming here and then going back to the upside. Why am I saying so? You can see first touches here, second touches here, and we're expecting a third touches here, and then going back to the downside. And then once we're here, then obviously this could either be a double top, double bottom, then we can buy and then we can hold for a longer term. So I don't want us to be just focused on the buys and then we, miss chance of, capitalizing on the sells. Because even here you could see that we're going to be able to catch this trade because of the first peak, second peak, double top structures, impulse, beautiful correction here. We could have ate on this short-term move to the downside. So I want us to also be able to capitalize on also both, the upside and also the downside. So during the week, it was actually a beautiful week that we had, and also just so we don't just focus on selling. One thing that can happen is that if we are looking for buys, if let's say it happens that our sales is invalid, remember that the market can be invalid. If our sales is invalid here, we can obviously see the market shooting, breaking these areas, not respecting breaking, but coming back as support. And then once it comes back as support, we are going to look for a candlestick confirmation. Could either be, any candlestick confirmation that represents a buy. Then that's when we are still going to buy around these areas, and then we can go to the upside. Then we can go to the upside with it. So that's the only time we are going to be buying if it happens that it doesn't go to the downside. Remember that the market can either play both ways. It can either go up or it can go down. So that's one thing that we should be focusing on instead of just one type of scenario, ne? So let me just do this real quick. On the 1 hour chart, as you can see, I want us to focus a bit more on this. So during the week, we caught buys here, we caught another buys here, we caught buys here, and the market shot to the upside like this. Né? Beautiful trade. We caught two types of buys, first year and second year, which is beautiful. So now looking at the 1 hour chart, you can see that there's still more momentum pushing to the upside, which is a bit more scary, but that doesn't mean that see this candlestick pushed a bit more to the upside and then a young beautiful double top happened and then it shot to the downside. Né? So I want us to also understand, like, enter the market with knowing that the market is more likely, like, it can shoot to the upside and come back and shoot back to the downside. So it's actually not something new. It's something that we know, something that we've been focusing a bit more on. So that's why I've got this beautiful resistance zone. So this zone is just here to get me on me being able to just look for sells, meaning that once the market starts to play within the zone, once it's in this red box of mine, one thing that I want to do is that I will be look for some confirmation. I'll be looking for sell confirmation, and once it has confirmed, I wouldn't mind taking a sell, looking at the fact that let's see if it does happen to push upwards, and then once it does get here, it starts to lose momentum. It's going to be a beautiful trade. If it does lose momentum, then once it does present something like this, obviously what I'll do is that I'll be able to have a sell right here, stop loss around these areas, then targets maybe here, first targets, and then overall targets is here. My overall target is here. I'm looking for the market to be shooting all the way down to here, which it shouldn't take too long. You can see it can take even a week all the way down to here, because take a look at this. From here it took the 21st of July, and then here it was the 24th of July. So literally 3 days to shoot all the way to the downside. So it's a beautiful thing. Okay, now let us take a look at the gold markets now. And also, guys, just make sure to hit the subscribe button. I believe that you are now finding this video very valuable. I believe that you're getting a lot of information that maybe you didn't think of it before, but please do just give this video a like and also hit the subscribe button just so you'll be able to receive more of this. Okay, gold markets, it's a bit more risky. I would say that you need to have proper confirmations in order for you to be taking this trade, but I'm seeing a beautiful sell setup on it. Ne? So remember we said that the USD is going to be rising strength. It's going to be going a bit more to the upside, meaning that gold is more likely to drop. So when that does happen, but take a look at the daily time frame. That's why I say it's a bit more risky, because on the daily time frame it shot to the upside. Ne? It shot all the way to the upside, and this here on the weekly. And one thing that I'm looking at is here at the weekly frame, right here, you can simply see that these were our previous highest points. And guys, I teach a lot about the mass psychology. You guys have seen it in the lessons, mass psychology. It's also a part of when the market does get to a resistance zone or a support zone, and then it breaks that zone. But once it does break it, it comes back into that zone. So basically what it does is that it traps people in the wrong type of the market, meaning that you would see a breakout, then you'd be like, I'm buying, but it's only the market trying to take buyers out and also sellers out. So it's a bit more tricky. You need to be a bit more careful with this. That's why I say that this is actually going to be a much more interesting one, because we are going to be learning a lot from this. And it's very much it's nice to be taking such setups, because at the end of the day you are gaining much more clarity in the market. So when you meet such setups in the near future, what's more likely to happen, especially with a specific pair, because that way you can grow a relationship with it. So you saw on the weekly and daily what I saw. So obviously you can see a lot of pushes to the upside here, a lot of pushes. You can see it shot up, but now you can see as soon as it got here, it started to just play around there. As soon as it got here, it's no longer in an impulsive form, it's now in a corrective form, and this correction is actually a reversal, which is why I say mass psychology is where it plays a bit more with the section. So what happens is that you guys can just be able to, I think I forgot what lesson it is whereby we spoke about mass psychology, but you guys should just check it out. And let me just go in the 1 hour time frame. Like the fact that this beautiful pattern presented itself so well. Reversal pattern, first touches here, second touch is here. So what I'm seeing here is more likely the market is going to be giving us a double top. As you can see, let me just zoom in a bit. As you can see, this rejection here, and there's a lot of rejections here. Even if I just draw a box right here, you can see a lot of rejections right around these areas. But you know, I see the market just rejecting here and giving us another rejection here, and then we're going to be taking a sell to the downside. We are going to be placing a beautiful sell to the downside. Okay, something like this. Then obviously once it does, once it does give us a rejection, let me even cancel this, throw my box here for a rejection area. You know, will be candlestick confirm, or we can be looking for rejection, just the rejection. Even if Mara candlestick confirmation, rejection around this area, then that's when we're going to be taking those beautiful sells. You know, that's when we are going to be taking these beautiful sells. Hopefully something, a move like this can, you know, happen, but you know, can't really predict the market on how it's going to reject. But you know, once it does, you can either be taking it here, you know, here, minimum stop, keep it simple. This is actually a bit more, you know, reduced risk, but or also you can still have your stop loss be around these areas. Once it does reject, you know, I'm looking at all the things that confirm, just so you can make the most of, you know, this move. But these areas I'd like for it to be our first target, even though, so we should try to make the most out of the first target, but you know, there's still more potential to the downside, remember. So it's gonna be a beautiful trade on gold. So you did get to see me going down into, you know, breaking down gold, breaking down the Nasdaq, and hopefully I believe that you will be able to make, you know, some profits for yourself for the week. Don't take this as signals, but take this as, you know, education wise, like meaning that take this as, how does this guy see the market? How is he able to find a buy here? How is he able to find a sell here? Because when I was still a beginner, I kept on asking myself, why do people sell here and why do they buy here? What strategy are they using in order to be able to find such entries? So I want the same for you. And obviously, even if it doesn't play out the way that you saw it, have to like learn from it, prepare, just so you can be able to forecast, and the results will be able to either teach you, or you can be able to still make profits while you are learning, which is a beautiful thing. So by Lesiba Mothupi, thank you so much for being here with us. Make sure to click the like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to also be in the Telegram group. I'll see you in the next video.